every story starts with once upon a time something happens. How do you start the story of your venture? How do you build it out? Do you have a hero, a villain, a plot, a happy ending? And the surprising connection between the story and the strategy for your venture. That's what I will cover in this video. Now, just like any story, the story of your venture has to start with something happens, which is there is a change, right? What is that something which happens? Could be a new technology trend, right? For example, the internet revolution spawned great ventures like Naukri.com or Make My Trip. Or it could be, other kinds of changes. It could be, besides technology changes, it could be regulatory changes. It could be consumer demographic changes. It could even be something like the pandemic, right? So something happens in the environment which creates a change. Now, with every change, either you have a new problem which needs a solution, or you have a new solution to an old problem, or you have a whole new opportunity. You can sometimes create whole new opportunities, whole new ventures which had no equivalent before. So, the mobile revolution created whole new ventures which didn't have any equivalent before the mobile world. Now, once you've identified that change, right, and because of that change, what is the the problem or the solution or the opportunity that gets created, you now have to introduce the hero. The hero is the user who is affected by it, and you make it something, make it very personal and very emotional for your hero. Make the problem or the need very vivid, very emotional. Okay? Then you bring in a villain. A villain is whatever stops your hero from achieving their goal, right? And there has to be a villain, because if there was nothing stopping the hero from getting there, they would automatically get there, right? So there wouldn't be a story. And then, of course, the moment you have a hero with a motivation and a villain, you have a plot, right? And your solution or your product helps the hero get to where they need to, right? And then they get to, once they solve their problem, they overcome the hurdle, they get to the happily ever after, where they get their reward and there is a new world, there is a new happy situation. Now, you can build a great journey and a super happily ever after, and how you do that, I'll cover in the next video. So to create an awesome story is in how how you create an awesome journey and an awesome happily ever after, right? But the basics of a story are exactly what I just covered. Now, once you built out the story, what you end up with is, you've answered a few questions. You've answered a question like, well, why do we exist, right? Because you've identified the the problem or the problem you're solving, or the new solution to the old problem, or the whole new opportunity. So you've identified why you exist. You've also identified in the journey how you're going to solve that problem, who you're going to solve that problem for, the hero of your story, right? How you're going to solve that problem, and what is the outcome? What is your vision? Because the happily ever after paints a vision for your venture, right? And how you paint a compelling vision, I will cover in the next video. But you've outlined, if you notice, you've outlined why you exist, why now, who you serve, how you serve them, and what is the outcome, what is the vision you're driving for. Well, You've just defined the strategy for your venture. So the surprising thing is, if you've got a good story, you get a very compelling strategy for your venture. And it's not just me saying it. Ben Horowitz of Andreessen Horowitz says, a venture without a story is probably a venture without a strategy. So if you want to build a great venture, spend some time to build a great story. And how you build an awesome story, I'll cover that in the next video.